Alright, so we're heading to North Bend Park, which is in Boydton, Virginia.
Here is the haunted place in Bracey, Virginia. One of the top 10 haunted places to visit.
We're in Boydton, Virginia, where we're going to have lunch at Rosie's. This and more coming up in this part 2 episode of North Bend Campground in Boydton, Virginia. The surrounding small towns and attractions you should visit.
My dogs and my bride, we're living wild and free. On the road for a wild ride, just my love and me. Moving slow from the hills to the sea. Every mile is a memory. Exploring in our travel RV.
We started our trip from our home base in Hertford, North Carolina. We won't get into the travel details, that's already covered in Part A. But for now, we have a 4-hour drive, and for today, it's just getting there and setting up camp and having a good night's sleep. We start the morning with breakfast. We surely need it. It's about 6 in the morning, so we're getting an early start. I'm making eggs and bacon, and now we're on the road. We're heading to Boydton, Virginia. We're going to have lunch at a place called Rosie's. Boydton, Virginia has a rich history rooted in the 18th and 19th centuries. It was founded in 1812 by Alexander Boyd. This town has a lot of history if you happen to be a history buff. Randolph-Macon College original campus was located here in Boydton before they moved to Ashland in 1868. They moved due to the destruction of the railroad during the Civil War. I remember those old Esso signs from when I was a kid, the former filling stations known as Exxon today. At least in my part of the country, they were called Esso. On the left is the Boyd Tavern and Visitor Center, and it features a range of exhibits that tell the deep history of Boydton. From the Revolutionary War to the Civil War, they have a collection that offers a glimpse into the past. Boyd Tavern was built in the 18th century and has served as a hub for social and political activity in Boydton for over 200 years. Okay, the doggies are in the car with the air conditioner running, as we usually do, and I'm parked right in the front of Rosie's restaurant, and I've got a seat where we can see Rosie's. And just so people don't get upset, I have that on my car. And I have, can't see it, but there's a temperature monitor in there. It goes to my phone. It's always nice to get a load off your feet. So looking over this menu here, I'm going to get the steak and cheese sub. Candy's laughing because I always get something safe. It says lettuce, tomato, greens. Does that mean lettuce or other types of greens?
It's lettuce, tomatoes, green pepper, onion, mushroom.
Okay, all right. That sounds good. It's toasted, right? That's what I want.
Do you want fries with it?
No, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'll probably get fries.
Yeah, I'll have some of her. I'll have some of her.
The cheeseburger deluxe with French fries, but I don't want any bun. And then I guess only pickles on the side.
Well, if you're not going to get a bun, then it's probably all going to be on the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it for y'all?
And the fries, crispy fries.
Okay.
Oh, and a side of mayonnaise.
All right.
Thank you.
it?
Dry?
Huh?
Dry?
Maybe a little bit. There. Okay, we just finished our meal here at Rosie's, and I met the owner, and there's only 2 places in town to eat that I'm aware of, and one is Rosie's. I don't remember where the other one is. I had the steak sub, and it was pretty good. My wife, for some reason, had a hamburger with cheese and no bun. I'm going to assume that that was pretty good. I don't know. I didn't ask her. The French fries were okay, but I would definitely come back here. Is not a place to avoid. So if you're ever in Boydton, Virginia, you can check out Rosie's and tell her the guy from TravelRV sent them. The guy from TravelRV sent you. Tell her the guy from TravelRV sent you. So we're on our way to a place called Bracey, Virginia. We don't know what we're going to find. We're just out exploring. Allegedly, Bracey is the most haunted place in Virginia.
One of the most haunted places in Virginia.
One of the most haunted places in Virginia. And we saw a little YouTube video clip on it. I don't think we're going to turn this into a haunted video, but
I want to.
well, we'll see what we're dealing with when we get there. Anyhow, this is the road that we think
We don't
the
know.
little haunted section is on, but I'm not really sure. We're going to have to just, it looks a lot like the videos we've seen. So we'll check back in when we get to where we know we're getting. We actually found the haunted downtown, if you want to call it that. So somebody lives there at that house. We don't want to disturb them. This is supposed to be.
It just kept up. Bracey, Virginia. Okay. Can I get out? Maybe make a video?
Sure.
Oh, I'm proud of you. You got us here. Okay, people, here is the haunted place in Bracey, Virginia. One of the top 10 haunted places to visit. Oh my God.
Hey, puppies.
Hey.
Hey, hush.
Bill, help me.
Cookie, hush. 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 Wait, you can't open the door with the dogs.
I don't know what to do. I had them, when I was a kid, chase me.
Okay, these are the haunted buildings in Bracey. My wife was going to show them to you, but we've got these little puppy dogs following us, so she got a little edgy. Okay. Hey, buddies. Yeah. Come on. Come on. I guess Bracey is a ghost town. I don't believe in the haunted house stuff. So I'm not here for that. But I am here for the ghost town. And we're just taking a quick look at all these old buildings in Bracey. Now there are videos of haunted Bracey, and some people come here with EMI detectors and they claim that they have spirits and all that kind of crazy stuff. I don't believe any of that, but I still like the way this looks for a haunted little place, supposedly. I call it an empty little place. And I got these dogs here to protect me. These puppies. Hey. Puppy. Oh, I don't understand what this is about. This tree is stilled up. It says 1958 there. Don't know what's in it. And so that concludes our tour of Bracey. Blink your eyes and you miss it. Bye, puppies. Move. Move. Boogie.
Come on, Cook. Alright, here they come. Them dogs like you.
Put on the GPS to take us to Bracey. I'm thinking that Bracey is a little town, and those haunted buildings, so to speak, were actually an attraction. But in fact,
nobody knows about it.
That is here. Bracey.
No one knows about it around
So here. That's the whole destination, Bracey. According to my navigation, I said take us to the center of Bracey, and it took us to those abandoned places. Anyhow, we're going back through, so I thought I'd give you one more view of it as we get to it. And here you go.
That store's got skylights.
Huh?
The store's got skylights. It's not an attraction because no one I've talked to in this area knows about it.
Okay.
That's where I probably didn't hear me. I said a train needs to come through here. And I was talking to that black girl.
That is the Bracey train depot right there. Well, that concludes our time that we're going to spend at Bracey. We're heading back to North Bend Park. We're going to be extending our stay by 2 days So that means we have to leave the campsite that we're at, and we have to relocate all of our equipment to a new site, which just happens to be even better. So we're going to head on back. This is one last look at our current site, and we're going to be moving everything into the new site and spending the next couple more days exploring the area. All right, we moved to a new site. This new site is Site 173, and I gotta admit, I think it's better than any site that I've looked at so far. It's up high, you've got a panoramic view, you've got a great pathway to the beach, and you have a really decent beach to work with. It's my favorite site. I had said earlier we're going to come back to this campground in a couple of months, and I tried to book this same site, but it is booked all year. This might be the most booked site in the whole place. I don't know, but check it out if you try to book a site. Book early and go for this site. It's really gorgeous here. You'll enjoy this park if you book it. If you can get Site 173, you're going to feel like a king. Just my short walk, I picked up all this trash. I encourage you to do the same. Keep our parks beautiful. Today we are heading to Warrenton, North Carolina to check that place out and see what we can find.
Turn right onto Mays Chapel Road.
So I'll get back with you when we get to Warrenton, or if something happens between then. From the park, Warrenton, North Carolina is a trip that is kind of southeastward. The park is located in the south central area of Virginia, whereas Warrenton, North Carolina is located in the north central area. So they're kind of cousin cities, maybe. Anyhow, Warrenton, North Carolina was founded in 1779, and it was named for Dr. Joseph Warren, who was killed at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Well, we did make it to Warrenton, and I've got to tell you, it's a charming old town. At first, we did spend a good bit of time driving around Warrenton, but eventually we settled on where we're going to eat. That happens to be at this little place on the left side here, Hardware Cafe. That's where we're going to spend our lunch. But meanwhile, we're driving around and looking at the sights in this little town. I think that's called the Bragging Rooster right there. And I believe it's a, I don't know what it is actually. I'll have to check it out and let you know. Warrenton has several notable murals, including the You Are Home mural in Old Town, a Blue Ridge Mountains mural, and then this one, the Eastern Bluebird mural. These murals are part of a broader effort to revitalize downtown and bring more public art to the community. And here's one I grew up with, the Coca-Cola mural. They were all over the place when I was a kid. I remember oh so clearly, there were Coca-Cola murals, and there were all of these murals that said chew, mail pouch, tobacco. Here's Station 1 of the Warrenton Fire Department. I believe it's still in use. If you're wondering why I have to sit so far back on the stoplight, you're about to find out. This town was not made for big trucks, but apparently it's a major thoroughfare because we got caught like this more than once. These streets are tight, and that was a close call. But I think it's time to get something to eat, so we're going to be looking for our dining spot. I believe you're looking at the only place in town to get pizza, but it's pickup only from what I can see. We're doing a quick pass through the historic district on our way to retrack back to the restaurants. There are some very old homes here, and I don't have all the history on them, but some of them are historic and protected. So we're going to go back in time at the Hardware Cafe. This is located in the historic hardware store established in 1907 in Warrenton, North Carolina. As you would suspect, this is a hardware store, but it was converted to a restaurant. They kept the original hardware arrangement, and when you walk in, it looks like a hardware store. There's not an awful lot of hardware, but there's a lot of remnants of the old hardware. To the right you order, to the left they have memorabilia, and you can't see it yet, but they still have all the nail bins along the bar area where you would normally go in and buy 5 pounds of nails and put them in a bag. I want to point out that before this trip, 2 things happened. I chipped my tooth and I tore all the ligaments in my neck. So I try not to grimace here, but sometimes it just comes out. I'd like to point out that I was in pain the entire trip, but I did get my chipped tooth fixed while I was there. In spite of looking at the menu and studying our options, we both got the same thing, a prime rib wrap, and I've got to tell you, it was worth the trip. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is a great restaurant. If you ever go through Warrenton, North Carolina, be sure you stop by. Essentially what they did here was they kept the entire hardware store, added counters and seating, and went with that entire motif. It is a very authentic hardware eating experience, if there is such a thing. Now we're going to check on the dogs. Can't see them from where I'm at. We take our dogs everywhere. If I can't see the dogs, I have video and temperature monitoring, but I still check on them fairly often. I'm not going to get into a situation where they're suffering. Hey. Stop the barking. Stop the barking. Stop the barking. Okay? You guys behave. I'll be back. You just behave. Today was one of them semi-cool days where you didn't need to have air conditioning. But the new vehicle I just bought can run the air conditioner without the engine running, and it'll start the engine if it needs to keep it going. I can't wait to get that vehicle on the road. I'll show that in a future video. But I have an inventory of video with this older car in it, and that's what you'll continue to see for probably the next 6 episodes. For those that are interested, I use the Smart Life app, plus I have Smart Life temperature sensors and Smart Life remote video cameras that can operate whenever I'm away from the vehicle. I can look in on my dogs anytime. Here we are. I'm showing you, we're about central North Carolina, in the northernmost section, and that's where this little town is. Our food has not arrived yet, so I'll just show you a little bit more of this restaurant as we sit here and wait for our food. The service was fairly quick, and it was really good. The food arrived fairly quick. It was nice and warm. They toast the wrap. It was just overall a really good meal. Be sure to stop by the Hardware Cafe when you're near Warrenton, North Carolina. If you're planning a trip to Lake Gaston area, this would be a nice little excursion trip for when you want to go exploring. I remember as a kid going into the Chevrolet dealer and seeing these displays out in the showroom showing all the various Chevrolet or Oldsmobile or Ford models, depending on what it was my dad was shopping for. Well, this place is highly recommended. Do you agree?
Yeah.
If you're in Warrenton, North Carolina, be sure to stop by at the Hardware Cafe. Okay. I've just come out of the Hardware Cafe. And we're going to walk a little bit of the street here. This is the Hive. I'm not quite sure what it's about. Of course, an old-timey pharmacy. And coming up, we've got a couple of vacant stores, which is pretty typical. And this building here is the Bragging Rooster, and they feature beer and mead. For those of you that don't know what mead is, it's an alcoholic beverage made by fermenting honey with water, often with added fruit, spices, or grains. It's known as honey wine. Mead is actually one of the oldest alcoholic drinks known. This is the corner of Market, West Market, and South Main. So as I walk through downtown Warrenton, I'm reminded of how things used to be a century ago. This was a bustling city in its day. It's still a wonderful little city, but you can see the age written in the face of the buildings all around. I'm looking at some of the current establishments. Here we have Hunter Drug, but it's been repurposed to a gift shop. And I'm sure that there are probably very few businesses that have survived over the years, so none of these buildings are serving their original purpose. here's a Christian bookstore. And I'm going to go just a pinch further and see what we find. Good old American flag. I love recording them. There's actually quite a lot to do here in this town. There's a variety of stores, variety of coffee shops and restaurants. I think you'll enjoy yourself. It's a good couple of hour stop. And finally, we come upon a very, very old store of some sort. I tried to figure out what it was exactly. It says Peter's something. That paint must be 100 years old. I can't quite tell, something brand. Anyhow, it's a very old structure. A lot of history, I'm sure. As I conclude my short little walk around Warrenton, here we are at what I believe is Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church. And it's basically directly across the street from the Hardware Cafe, which is where I started. But for now, I'm a little tired from my walk, so I think I'm just going to turn around and sit right here. I'm going to sit here and wait for Forrest Gump. This is that kind of place. Up there, so we're heading back to North Bend Park. We had our great little excursion at Warrenton, North Carolina. And now it's time to go back to the park, rest up for our trip home tomorrow. I don't want to go home. What about you?
Why? We can't do it. Everything's booked.
We have to go home because I have cats.
I just thought about it. Actually, I did think about it, but then I didn't want to think about it, so I stopped thinking about it.
Because I have cats, we're going home.
We have cats. I know they love you, but...
We both have cats. Because we have cats, we're going home.
Don't get me started.
We're going to rest up today and maybe go to dinner tonight. Probably in South Hill. We'll show you where we go. We also did go to Clarksville, and we had a little bit of fun in Clarksville. I was going to include that in this video, but we're running out of time, and we did do a full Clarksville trip. And that's probably about 5 weeks away before I have that video ready. So you'll get to see Clarksville in all her glory once we get the Clarksville tape together. Meanwhile, we're just going to relax, let the dogs have a little fun.
Everyone.
Catch a few breezes and look at this beautiful waterfront property that we're temporarily camping on. I think it's time for one more trip down to the water so you folks just know how beautiful this site is. I wholly recommend that you try to book this site, but you've got to book these national campground sites. If you want to get the best sites, you can't book them a few weeks before. You got to book them a few months before. Finally, tonight we went to have dinner in South Hill, and this dinner, it left a lot to be desired, I'll be honest. I really do like to be able to give good reviews wherever we eat, or even no review when we're not happy, but sometimes you got to give a bad review. The high point of this whole meal was the chips. The chips and salsa were good. We both got the steak, and it was as bland of a meal as you could get. We won't come back, but maybe it was just a bad night, so maybe you should give it a try. The young man waiting on us did try to do a good job. He came back and checked on us, kept our drinks filled. The service was not bad. It's just that the food didn't have any flavor. With the way the salsa was tasting and these chips, I thought we were in for a real Mexican specialty. The salsa was actually quite good. They gave us 2 different types, and both of them were delicious. So, just in the chips and salsa, I had a decent meal. Well, we've reached the end of our trip, so I'm packing up now, getting ready to move everything. The beauty of this place is just simply amazing. You won't regret staying here. It's just like a small paradise, really, in the central South Virginia. As we take our long drive back to Hertford, North Carolina, we ask that you remember us and tune in next week. Please subscribe, please comment, and please give us a thumbs up. It'll help me with this channel a lot if you want to see more. And now the sad part of the video. It's where we have to leave. We have to wait another 2 or 3 weeks before we take our next trip. But I have gathered enough video to bring you something new each week. So please tune in and subscribe.